Hey there, and welcome back to Baldur's Gate 3. My name is Pete, and today we complete another episode of this honor mode walkthrough with our Dark Urge Halfling Bard, Sylvia Hairyfoot. Last time we left off, after making our way to Waukeen's Rest, an inn on the Risen Road. Unfortunately though, after an attack by drow and goblins, we found it in flames and rushed in to rescue any survivors. We learned that the attackers have taken Duke Ravengard, and that he is none other than Will's father. With yet another secret revealed, we then entered a secret Zentarim hideout nearby, after the password to enter was given to us by Rugen in the episode prior. We met Zaras, the Zentarim leader, freed the artist Oscar Fevras, stole a few valuable items, and traded with Brem to acquire several unique pieces of gear. As you can see, in between episodes, I've made some changes to our party. Shadowheart has replaced Will and Karlach has replaced Lae'zel, and Karlach also wishes to speak to us, so let's see what she has to say.
So, hey, we've got this soul coin, right? Thing is, I think I can use it. My engine can, anyway. Zariel used to top me up every now and again when she wanted me to go after an especially wicked target.
Right, we have indeed collected a few of these coins already, and we get the opportunity to ask only one question here. Let's focus on the moral dilemma. After all, those coins contain the souls of people.
They're already lost. Better to be used in service of the good guys than a devil, don't you think? Next time we're in a nasty battle, drop one my way. You'll enjoy the results.
Well, can't argue with that logic, I suppose. So let's promise to give her a coin for the next fight to earn a few approval points.
Fuck yes! Now I just need something to sink my teeth into.
Then we gather our party and leave Waukeen's Rest again. We will not head much further west at this stage, and only grab some balsam growing in the rocks here, an autumn crocus close nearby, and a second one a bit further west, in an area that is technically already the mountain pass, but we'll explore that another time.
Do vampires actually drink blood out of goblets like in the storybooks? Doesn't seem very fresh.
Straight from the neck is preferred, but goblets are used in mortal company. They save on awkwardness. We could share a drink some night, if you're curious. A nice red wine in your goblet, of course.
Very kind of you. But I'm saving my best bottle for someone already.
And after some chatter from Astarion and Shadowheart, we now use the sigil circle to return to the blighted village.
Biting flies. Midges. Ugh. Shouldn't nature be beautiful and serene? It looks so nice in the upper city parts.
Upper City, huh? Swish. Never spent much time there myself.
I'll happily take you, if we survive this bug's banquet.
Sounds good. I've always been curious what a patriarch looks like.
Right, more party banter before we get going. Today our journey takes us south, out of the village and down the path through the forest. Along that path we can harvest some mushrooms and berries and find a beehive nearby, as well as a collapsed burrow that is sadly empty, before we take a quick detour along the northeastern path.
You look happy, Shadowheart. Like a night orchid in bloom.
You must be imagining it.
It's all over your face.
It must be all the fresh air since the crash. Has me flush.
It looks good on you.
From here we continue south, find another mushroom near a tree and fail a perception check.
That might be worth a look.
Thankfully Astarion has keener eyes and spots a burrow beneath the tree, inside a backpack with gold and a gemstone that we will both gladly take. As we pick another mushroom further along the path, Astarion spots a hidden chest. Inside we find a plethora of goodies, several arrows and potions, and also the Fleet Fingers, gloves that give their wearer a free jump action whenever they dash. Potentially useful for Astarion, however he currently wears gloves that give advantage on all sleight of hand checks, and for the time being I consider those a bit more useful. Up next, a quick trip to the west, close to the southern walls of the blighted village. A ring can be looted from a bird's nest here, and there's also another beehive on the tree. From here, we then follow the path towards the 2 goblins standing guard at the village gate. No need to interact with them though. Another burrow is nearby, but it is once again empty, just like all the hunter stashes in the forest. So we loop back to the south to pick more berries and officially enter a new area, the Sunlit Wetlands.
Hey! Something bit me.
Just an insect. I'm sure you'll survive. Besides, it probably figured you for a tasty treat.
Give me an aboleth over a midge any day.
After Karlach comments on the local wildlife, we discover another hidden chest with an almost concerning number of pig parts in it. Either way, we'll take it and harvest the 2 berry bushes over here too, before we then run into our first people.
She went to see you. We know she did.
You know absolutely nothing, you Aegis.
Drop the act.
Now that looks like Auntie Ethel to me. Let's see what's up.
Lads, for the love of all that is holy, I've never clapped eyes on your poor sister.
Drop the act, hag. You was the last to see Mayrina.
Just let her go. Please.
Thank goodness you're here, sweetie. I don't know what's come over these boys.
Stop this. We won't ask again.
Now, failing the insight check here is not the end of the world. The encounter will play out the same regardless. First of all, we want to ask what's going on.
Careful. Don't trust a word out of her mouth. Our sister went to the hag, and we ain't seen her since.
Hand over heart, I don't know their sister. I will gladly help you all look for her, though.
Enough. Where is she?
Okay, now at this point, we are not going to pick sides. Instead, we'll stay out of it, perhaps a little unexpected, but in my opinion, it gives us the best result to work with.
Bollocks! You were supposed to rush to my defense, love. Fat lot of good you are. Some advice? You ever darken my door, you'd best have that head bowed and an apology at the ready. Bye-bye now.
Right, the oh-so-harmless Auntie Ethel just killed 2 men with a snip of a finger and then simply vanished, all after being accused of being a hag. And don't worry, it is in fact not possible to save the 2. Sooner or later they will end up dead, and at least this way we learn something about Ethel in the progress. We also find a letter here from their sister, who also calls Ethel a hag, but still decides to visit her. Maybe we can learn a bit more about that by speaking to the 2 dead brothers. Let's begin with Demir.
The corpse regards you lifelessly.
Lots of questions to choose from, but there is some overlap with his brother, so we do have time for pleasantries.
Demir.
Now let's find out what drove the 2 into this part of the woods in the first place.
My sister went to Ethel. Husband died. Wants him back.
Right, sounds like a unique but not like a dangerous transaction, so why the concern about Mayrina?
Because what Mayrina wants, only hag can give.
Yeah, we gathered that, but again, why is Ethel not to be trusted?
Hags play with their food.
Well, case in point, I suppose. Anything else we should be wary of?
Don't drink the water.
The spell's power wanes. You can ask no more questions.
Right, 1 down, 1 to go. Let's see what we can find out from Johl.
Kill The hag.
Once more, we begin with proper introductions.
Johl. Cattle. Farmer.
Before we then ask about their plans for killing Ethel.
With pitchforks. Stupid.
Stupid indeed, it seems, but at least they figured out where Mayrina went.
Note.
Let's also ask about why Mayrina wants her dead husband back.
She's scared she won't be a good mom. But she will. I know it.
And after learning that she's pregnant, one final question about the food in this place.
Apples. So red. So delicious, but...
The spell's power wanes. You can ask no more questions.
Alright, so we know that Ethel is potentially very dangerous, can vanish in the blink of an eye, and that a pregnant Mayrina sought her out to ask for help. All in all, perhaps something we should investigate closer to avoid the further loss of life, but first let's pick some more herbs and mushrooms, as well as some food that is in fact very safe to consume.
Chill runs up your spine. You feel like you're being watched.
Right, a chilly sensation to add to the tension. Let's investigate. However, this is a skill check that we actually want to fail, and considering the DC of 20, that's not too difficult.
The place has a quiet sense of calm. You can't see anything strange.
So, nothing is learned for now as we switch to Astarion to pick the barbed bulrush over here to collect 5 juicy apples that are in fact not quite as nourishing as they may look. The reason for using Astarion here is the sleight of hand check required to successfully pick these. A DC of 10 is impossible for him to fail with all the bonuses that he gets. Since Demir wanders off the water, let us stay on the path then and head further south. There is an entire area to our left here that we will leave be for now. Instead, we find a basket with more of these apples inside, and a note from Ethel inviting passerbys to taste them. I think at this point it is quite clear that the hag accusations may hold some truth.
A trap. Someone doesn't like visitors.
Astarion then also spots some traps in the water, so one more reason to stay clear of it as we head over to the little island here, inhabited by sheep. And we want to interact with them using the party member with the highest animal handling skill, Shadowheart.
The sheep's voice warbles. You realize it's trying to say bar.
Right, we get an animal handling skill check here to reach out to the sheep. The DC is 15, but Shadowheart can benefit from a bonus of at least +5. Let's see if that's enough.
The smell of rot assaults your senses as the illusion vanishes. A diminutive creature sporting a red hat glares at you. He seems unaware that his illusion has failed.
Alright, seems like we've been walking through an illusion this whole time, and the sheep are in fact not sheep at all, but perhaps it's best if we don't show our hand just yet. Instead, let us simply reply with a simple bar ourselves. And there we go, Karlach gets inspired for breaking the illusion over the swamp, a swamp that looks much less inviting now, likely another result of Ethel's work. The little creatures in front of us then are Redcaps, looking harmless, but very strong and quite durable too, and with abilities like Bloodlust and Steeped in Slaughter, it is safe to assume they are not exactly friendly, even if they haven't attacked us yet. In fact, a fight with them is inevitable if we want to get the most out of this area, so best we get it over with on our terms. Let's move up onto the high ground here and then give Karlach a soul coin, just like she asked for. Using it applies the Infernal Fury condition, an extra 1d4 fire damage to her attacks if she's raging. That will come in handy as we wait for the right moment to strike here, just as the two Redcaps up here in the water stand right next to each other. We also want to put Astarion in stealth before activating turn-based mode, and then open things up with an offhand melee strike on the Redcap Blood Sage here, a caster type that mostly buffs the others. We deal 10 points of damage with a sneak attack and gain surprise, and since this sneak attack technically happened before combat was initiated, it technically also happened before Astarion's turn, meaning we can use sneak attack again now for a ranged attack on the other enemy down here. A little trick that we can use to our advantage, but only if we initiate combat with Astarion going first, which is really not always the best course of action. Now up next we put Karlach into a frenzied rage and then have her throw a javelin at the Redcap, and despite a 95% hit chance, she misses. Lovely. Well, on the plus side, Shovel lands a critical hit on the Blood Sage, dealing a phenomenal 6 damage. Let's move her back away and cast a cloud of daggers with Sylvia on the two enemies standing next to each other in the water here. With her bonus action, we then shoot the Blood Sage closest to us. Since the regular Redcaps are melee enemies and can be avoided by keeping a distance, the Blood Sages should be taken out first as they have a few nasty ranged spells. With Shadowheart up next, we move into position and have her shoot an arrow of lightning. Since both the Redcaps down here have the wet condition, they are vulnerable to lightning damage. Let's hope they fail their saving throws. And they do. While we do not deal any piercing damage from the arrow itself, by shooting it between them, the lightning zaps them both, and we can wrap up our first turn here. Let's begin turn 2 with Astarion casting Hunter's Mark on the Redcap down here. Then we can hide and strike from stealth for a sneak attack that's worth 16 points of damage. Now, I had hoped for a bit more, but this should still be doable. Karlach can use her Enraged Throw to spike the Blood Sage for a whopping 21 damage, getting the first kill, and that's only her bonus action. Let's follow it up with an axe on the other Redcap. That's 16 damage, not quite enough. Let's see if Sylvia can deal the killing blow with an offhand shot here. And she cannot, so we need to use the main hand too. Now at this point we want to move as far back from the two enemies up here as possible. The Blood Sage will most likely die to the cloud of daggers, but the Redcap probably survives, and we want to force it to dash, wasting its action, and thus keeping us safe for one more turn. With a bit more luck, you can definitely take all 4 enemies out without them getting to act at all, but I think we should be fine either way. And there we go, the Redcap jumps up and approaches Sylvia's last known position, wasting its turn on movement, and after the Blood Sage goes down, we can try to unlock another achievement here. For that, we need to deal just a tiny bit more damage. A hit from Shovel here is perfect, leaving the Redcap with only 4 hit points. Now Karlach can throw it off the rock we're standing on, and the fall damage takes it out, earning us the Shove Off achievement. This can actually be a little more tricky to unlock than it might seem, as the enemy needs to die from falling and not from any other damage source that may occur in the process. Most likely you are going to unlock this by accident and not by carefully planning for it. Either way, the fight is over and it's time to grab all the loot in the area. Since it's mostly poisoned apples from barbed bulrushes, we're using Astarion for this. The Blood Sage here carries 2 scrolls that we managed to avoid being cast and can now salvage. Let's also not forget to pick up any thrown weapons we used earlier, and there's also another wicker basket with poisoned apples down here on the island's east side. The rest is barbed bulrushes all around. In total, you'll likely end up with somewhere around 30 to 40 poisoned apples at this point, although you likely won't have much use for them. Now, instead of moving straight ahead towards the corpses of the other two Redcaps, we'll turn right towards the north, wade through the water that is thankfully safe to traverse, pick another barbed bulrush, and by luckily passing a DC 20 perception check with Shadowheart, take note of a small pouch that contains several scrolls and valuables. Don't worry if you don't pass this check with anyone though, there will be another opportunity to pick this up later. A traveler's chest is located a bit deeper in the bog, and heading in a northwestern direction, we then come across a curious frog.
Green leaves, shallow water. Green leaves, shallow water.
Our speak with animals spell does not really help us much here, it seems. Let's try to find out what the frog is talking about.
Green leaves, shallow water.
A chill runs up your spine. There is something wrong with this creature. Very wrong.
Burn, bleed, kill.
Right, that sounds concerning to say the least, but perhaps it can tell us what's wrong with it. As you may have expected already, it's the hag influencing the animal, and while we could now provoke it into a fight, I think it's best if we just walk away.
Green leaves, shallow water. Green leaves, shallow water.
Right, now the main reason for not attacking this little creature is the fact that it is surprisingly tough to deal with, sporting an AC of 22, which it is actually able to boost to a ridiculous 31 by using the mirror image spell, likely another result of the hag's influence. Also, we would only receive 1 meager experience point for defeating it. Best we leave it be, it hasn't done anything wrong after all. Instead, we follow the path back south, pick a few more apples, and then, instead of walking up the steps to our right here, we cross back over to the island.
A fine sword and hat. And a fine adventure at the bottom of the swamp, no doubt.
In the water, we find a reinforced greatsword and helmet. However, the items are not any better than a regular helmet and greatsword, so we'll take them and complete our loop so that we can now finally loot the 2 remaining Redcaps. As you can see, they don't have much of a note on them, so we move on, unlock a sigil circle for fast traveling, take note of a path to our left leading south, and instead keep going west. Before walking through the archway though, we turn left for an unexpected meeting.
Ah, stranger. Forgive the aroma.
You catch a waft of something foul, metallic, and sickly sweet.
Powdered iron vine. An old hunter's trick. Most monsters will think twice before making a meal of me.
You're a monster hunter. I'm surprised. I thought all Gur were vagrant cutthroats.
Okay, it looks like Astarion knows more about the Gur than we do, and he might not be the most unbiased source, so let's ask the man directly.
A mystical and dangerous people. We travel the land, never settling in one place. We steal your chickens, curse your crops, seduce your daughters. Your friend here has heard it all, I'm sure. Now, I wish I had half the power settled folk think my people possess. Alas, I am a simple wanderer. A simple wanderer and monster hunter. But I'm no witch doctor or cutthroat.
Right, a monster hunter, he says. Does he, by any chance, happen to be on the hunt for a hag?
Something terrifying, no doubt. Dragon? Cyclops? Kobold?
Nothing so dramatic. I'm hunting for a vampire spawn. His name is Astarion, but I fear he's gone to ground. I hope the hag of these lands can help me flush him out, if I can afford her blood price.
So, that's an interesting turn of events, and while we could now rat Astarion out to him, let's first find out what Gangrel plans on doing with his target.
Not this time. My orders are to capture him.
Oh. And bring him where exactly?
Baldur's Gate. My people wait for me there.
Okay, so at least no life or death situation. That eases the tension a bit and allows us to joke at Astarion's expense. don't worry, he won't mind, at least not in the form of approval points.
I don't know. I'm sure a vampire's spawn could still rip out your throat if he felt like it.
He is right, unfortunately. They are only weak when compared to their masters. During the day, we have the advantage, but at night, when they hunt, you'll not find a more deadly quarry.
Once again, then, we can use our information advantage for a snide comment, although we'll have to make a decision at some point.
We've all survived so far. Let's focus on that.
It would still be wise to post guards at night. The threat is real.
Indeed it is. We should do something about this threat.
Right, Astarion is itching for blood and we could give in for a nice approval bonus. However, as long as we don't expose his identity, I don't think there is a need for violence here.
Wait, that's it? We're just walking away?
And again, as much as Astarion won't like it, there is a reason for leaving Gangrel alive. You'll see why eventually.
Fine, but if this comes back to bite us, it's on your head.
Go in peace, my friends. I pray our paths cross again.
They better bloody not.
So, the vampire hunter stays alive and searching for his prey. Before we leave him altogether, though, we can do Astarion one small favor at least, cast guidance on him, and have him sneak behind Gangrel to pickpocket every item of value off of him. With advantage on the roll, the chances of failure here are even smaller than it may seem, and should things go south, we can probably still talk our way out of it. Then we quickly leave the crime scene, go through the arch and encounter a well that we want to inspect closer.
Fetid smell assaults your nostrils. Dead flesh lies below. A great deal of it.
Doesn't sound all that appetizing to me, but we do in fact want to drink from it. Just wait and see.
The warm rush of power flows through you. You feel stronger, faster, better.
So, the well making Sylvia refreshed, giving her 10 extra hit points, and not the temporary kind. These last until the next long rest and could come in handy, so let's keep this in mind, even though we are still trying not to take any damage in the first place, as we now enter a wooden house at the end of the swamp.
I don't want a crumb left on that plate, girl.
Auntie Ethel, please. One more bite and this pie is gonna come back up to say hello.
Don't make me get the wooden spoon. You're eating for two, so get to it. If it isn't the cheekiest pup of them all, you'd best have one hells of an apology for me, young lady.
Right, Ethel demands an apology, and I'm not sure if it's wise not to give it to her. Still, let's use the bard option here to try and weasel our way out of it.
Another bard who thinks humor is the same as talent. Cute. You know, I was gonna give you a swift kick up the arse and show you the door. But I think you and I could have a bit of fun together. Gods grant me patience. Eat up, Mayrina. I won't say it again.
So that's Mayrina, and again, it's probably not a good idea to tell her that Ethel killed her brothers in front of the hag, so let us instead comment on Mayrina's lack of appetite.
Keep your own little nose in your own little dish, Petal. I don't like busybodies. Besides, you have bigger problems. That wriggler swimming in your brain juice is a bit of an inconvenience, isn't it?
Now, we did tell Ethel about the tadpole back in the Druid Grove, so it's no surprise she knows about it, and we're not so easily distracted, so let's keep pressing the Mayrina issue. That is why we're here after all.
I told you that girl is none of your business. Keep that hole under your nose shut.
I'm inclined to agree. Let's not involve ourselves in this place any more than necessary.
I'll talk about your wriggler, and that's it. Last warning.
Right, last warning, that sounds serious, and we have seen what Ethel can do. If we want to fight her, we better prepare first, and this does not seem like the moment, so let's give in. Is she really able to help?
Quicker than you can say yes, Auntie. What do you say? Want me to take care of the little bugger?
Well, considering that we're dealing with a hag and that they're not known for working out of the kindness of their hearts, it seems only fair to ask about the price first. Let's keep the offer from Raphael for ourselves for now.
Well, that depends on the job. Removing a parasite is no small feat. But I like you, Petal. So I'll only ask for something small. One of your pretty little peepers. I'll pluck it from your head, kiss it for luck, then back in it goes. Won't take but a moment. That is my price. Nothing more, nothing less.
Right, taking an eye seems like a rather unusual payment for this procedure, so why is she so keen on it?
I'm afraid that's my business, Petal. It's nothing nefarious, though. I promise.
A hag's promise, probably worth as much as a devil's, and nothing nefarious does not necessarily mean it won't get damaged at all.
A touch, but sure you've 2 eyes in your skull, don't you? No need to be precious.
Okay, now as intriguing as this may be, I don't think losing part of our eyesight is the right move to make, at least not for Sylvia.
Ethel, can I please?
Quiet, you've had enough pampering. And you, my door is always open, Petal. Auntie Ethel is here for you.
So, Ethel sends Mayrina to God knows where, but remains in the hut herself, and one can assume that her offer still stands. Now, I don't think I want to accept it with Sylvia, but maybe another one of our party members could be willing to take the deal. Let me know in the comments if you have any favorites, and we might just get it done next time. Yes, we have in fact reached the end of the video. We will resolve the rescue of Mayrina next time too. As you can imagine, Ethel won't exactly be happy about our attempt to free the woman, and, well, we have already seen what she can do to careless opponents, so that's surely going to be an interesting episode. Until then, I hope you enjoyed this one. If you did, I would be very happy if you could leave a thumbs up. And if you like what I'm doing and want to support me and my channel further, then you can go ahead and subscribe to stay up to date, grab some merch over on shop.petecomplete.com, or become a channel member or Patreon supporter. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next time. Cheers.